In the ancient hymns of the Rigveda, the early history of the Aryas is written not with ink but with chants, sung around sacred fires beneath starlit skies echoing through battle cries and river valleys. Among the many voices, 5 names rise again and again. These are the Panchajana, the 5 tribes that shaped the destiny of Vedic India. Who were they? Why did they clash? And how did the gods play favorites in their battles? Today we travel into a time where tribes were more than families. They were divine lineages and war was as sacred as sacrifice. The Rigveda speaks of the Panchajana, the 5 peoples. These were Yadu, Turvasha, Anu, Druhyu, and Puru. Each tribe had its own identity: warriors, priests, rituals, and ambitions. Though they were culturally related and all called themselves Arya, unity was not their strong suit. The most dramatic chapter in their conflict comes in the form of the Battle of the 10 Kings, a massive intertribal war between Sudas of the Bharata clan, of the Puru lineage, and a coalition of 10 opposing tribes, including the Anus and Druhyus. The battle was fought on the banks of the river Purusni, with gods like Indra siding with Sudas. The Anus called upon Indra with prayer. The Dasa Kuyava was overthrown. Manu grew strong through you, O mighty one. After the battles, hymns of the Rigveda describe not just victory, but reordering. These verses present a divine reshuffling of leadership, suggesting that even the outcomes of war were part of a cosmic plan. The god Indra doesn't merely help warriors win. He also redistributes tribes, territory, and power, giving a divine seal of approval to new social hierarchies. In one remarkable hymn, Indra is said to have handed the Yadus and Turvashas over to Manu, the legendary ancestor of the Aryas. Indra defeated 30 warriors with the help of the Turvashas. He gave Yadu and Turvasha to Manu at the fertile Sharanyavati. This verse is politically loaded. It shows Indra defeating a wide coalition of kings and using that victory to empower Manu, the mythical ancestor of the Aryas. Yadu and Turvasha, previously independent and strong, are placed under Manu's care. In Vedic symbolism, this is not humiliation, it's reabsorption into the sacred fold of the favored Arya order. This moment reveals how deeply political legitimacy was tied to divine sanction. Indra is not just a god of war, he's the ultimate arbiter of who rules whom. The land of the Vedic people was known as Sapta Sindhu, the land of 7 rivers. This geography wasn't just physical, it was sacred. Control over it was both political and spiritual. One verse explicitly mentions how Indra distributed this divine geography among tribes. This verse describes not just land division but the founding of regional identities. We see tribal names like Anga and Darada tied to specific territories, establishing a sort of proto-map of Vedic India. Indra here acts almost like a cosmic land registrar, settling tribes in river-rich lands that are both fertile and ritually important. The river Sharanyavati is mentioned repeatedly, hinting that this was a central location of cultural or political authority. Perhaps it was the seat of Manu, or perhaps it was simply where the Arya tribes were ritually united. Here, myth blends with geopolitics, as Indra becomes the cosmic land grantor among Aryan tribes. While some clans like the Purus and Bharatas rose to prominence, with the latter possibly giving India the name Bharat, others faded into the mist of Vedic memory. But in the chants of the Rigveda, their legacy lives on. The Panchajana were not just tribes, they were the founding cells of Arya civilization, fighting, merging, invoking gods, and leaving behind a poetic memory of blood, fire, and sacrifice. The 5 tribes were more than clans, they were the seedbed of Aryan civilization, bound by ritual, divided by ambition, and remembered forever in sacred verse. But this is just the beginning, so stay tuned for a future video exploring the Vedas in full epic detail.